Social anxiety disorder, like agoraphobia and OCD, PTSD and panic disorder, are symptoms of underlying high anxiety. Without the high anxiety that fuels your social anxiety, the social anxiety can't exist. And we've proven this tens of thousands of times with clients that we've cured. Clients who've got rid of their social anxiety completely and moved on to be completely anxiety-free. So how's the anxiety formed? Well, anxiety is formed in part of the brain called the amygdala. The amygdala is actually a pair of organs, and they work rather like an anxiety thermostat. They're the control centre of your anxiety. The amygdala receives data from the sensory organs around the body, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth and the skin. And this data is fed back to the amygdala, and the amygdala then responds by making a decision about how to respond, whether there's real threat present or not. If it detects a real threat, it goes into the flight or fight response. It releases adrenaline, and you go into the flight or fight response, which prepares your body for either fleeing from or fighting the potential danger. But you know that in social anxiety there is no real danger present. Okay, you perceive your environment as fearful. Maybe you have to do a speech or a guide in public, or maybe you have elements of agoraphobia. But ultimately, there is no real threat present. And you should be able to do these things without any high levels of anxiety. Well, your underlying anxiety disorder is fueling that anxiety. So if we can remove the anxiety and move it back down to a level that it was at birth when you were a child, then you should be able to move away from your anxiety and make a full recovery. And this happens time and time again. The way we do this is by providing an environment for change, an environment for recovery. And what I mean by that is that we provide an environment that allows your sensory organs to feed data back to the subconscious mind and the amygdala, which tells it that it is completely safe. And by doing so, it comes to the realization that it is safe and that it can adjust your preset anxiety levels back down to a normal level. And it does this very quickly indeed. It has to. The emotion of fear is very adaptable. It has to, because as we go through life, we move from places that are totally relaxed and vacant of any fear to places that can be quite threatening. And as we move between those environments, it's vital that our anxiety levels fluctuate in order to provide us with protection from potential fears and potential dangers. We do this using the Linden Method program, which is a structured way of providing the data, the external data that your subconscious mind needs in order to reset your anxiety back down to a normal level. And it does this very quickly, as I said earlier. It's very structured, it's simple, it's fast, and it works every single time. It can't fail because it is the process that every recovered sufferer has followed to become completely cured of social anxiety. There are many devices out there that claim to be cures for social anxiety, but they're not. These things are superficial. Medication doesn't work, CBT doesn't work generally. In isolation, none of these things can work because they don't address this process, this subconscious anxious process that I'm telling you about now. They don't get to it, in a targeted or direct way. They don't render those neural pathways of anxiety that you've built up by practicing being an anxious person obsolete. They just don't do it. But our process does. And I hope you give us the opportunity to show you how therapeutic and how curative our process, the Linden Method, can be for you and your social anxiety disorder. Do cures for social anxiety exist? Yes, they exist here. And I hope you give us the opportunity to show you them. Take care.